We'd like to welcome in Scott Lauber on the Comcast Business Hotline. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Ricky. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Take us through what this starting rotation may look like. I just looked up the MLB.com rankings of the top 10. Phillies are sitting at number 2.
Yeah, I mean, look, everything we talk about right now has to go with the barring injury. Because look around baseball, right? I mean, it seems like every single day another I'm going to watch the Phillies play the Yankees tonight. The Yankees obviously just lost Garrett Cole. They've lost Luis Heel. So, like, the Phillies have got to stay healthy. You'd like to sort of bubble wrap everybody and bring them north right now. But barring injury, their rotation's pretty much it's up there with any teams in terms of talent, in terms of depth. You know, it starts with Zach Wheeler. It goes down through I don't know how the order is going to be after opening day, but, you know, Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez is throwing 96, 97 with command. So he looks like there's still ceiling to reach for him, as good as he was last year. And then Ranger Suarez and Jesus Luzardo. So you've got to stay healthy, and you've got to keep your guys, going every fifth day. But 1 through 5, tough to find a 1 through 5 that's more experienced and better than that group.
Scott, I know it's not believed to be serious, but if Matt Strahm, with that shoulder injury, is to miss some time, who would replace him, and how concerned are you with that injury?
So it's unclear who would replace him. You know, there are opportunities that are available for Devin Sweet, who's on the 40-man roster. Got a little bit of major league time. He's got a really good changeup, but command has been an issue for him throughout his career. So he would have an opportunity given his status on the 40-man. There might be an open opportunity for a non-roster pitcher. Nabil Krismat is a name to remember. He looked really good yesterday. He's got extensive big time with San Diego a couple of years back and pitched well for San Diego. He's a guy who I think they like what they've seen so far in spring training. You know, an injury to Strahm could open up a spot for somebody like that for a short period of time. They say they're not worried. Strahm saw the doctor yesterday. I talked to him afterwards. He said everything checked out. He thought he could throw yesterday, but they're being really, conservative. They're going to have him see the doctor again tomorrow, and they'll reevaluate from there. There's still time for him to be ready, but, when you think about it, guys, like, opening day is kind of an arbitrary date, right? Like, we make so much of the opening day roster. It's not the worst thing in the world if Strahm's a little bit behind and he goes on the IL to start the year and he misses the first week. You can sort of live with that if it's going to knock this injury, if it's going to knock this inflammation out of the shoulder, if he needs a few extra days so that it's not something that's lingering. Strahm said to me, yeah, it'd be cool to be on the opening day roster, but I really want to be available in October. And so I think everyone's going to try to be smart about this and figure out, is really the smart thing to do to get him on the opening day roster, or is it smarter to just take a few extra days?
Yeah, Scott, I noticed today on Twitter you taking some video of one of the probably most famous pitchers on the Phillies as of late, and that was Andrew Painter throwing some live hitting. What was your thought on that?
That's a good word to describe him, Ricky. Famous, because it feels like we've talked more about Andrew Painter prior to making a major league appearance than really anybody, right? Because 2 years ago at this time it was like, well, not quite at this time, he'd already gotten hurt, but 2 years ago spring training it was kind of Painter Palooza. Every move he made was a big deal, and I sort of had flashbacks to that today because he went out there to throw live BP for the first time on one of the backfields, and I was thinking about 2 years ago when he goes out there for live BP and he's pitching to Kyle Schwarber, and one at-bat he gets Schwarber to chase a breaking ball out of the zone, and then the next at-bat Schwarber puts one on US 19 and kind of does that. Remember, he did that hop celebration or whatever, that mock celebration down the first baseline, and everybody laughed and got a kick out of it. This was a lot less of a spectacle, I would say. Not that there weren't notables who were out there watching. Bryce Harper came out to take a look. Rob Thompson was there. A lot of people from the organization were there watching it. But, I thought it was interesting talking to Painter afterwards. He threw 20 pitches. He faced Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, and Brandon Marsh. He threw all of his pitches from his fastball to his slider, to his curveball, to his changeup. And, afterwards he said, he wasn't full throttle. He wasn't 100% because he said, look, 2 years ago I came out to throw live BP. I was full throttle and it didn't work out so well for me. So, nice and easy was the way he described it. Good to face hitters. He said he got good feedback from the 3 hitters he faced on the changeup, which is something he's working on quite a bit this spring. But we all know, right? He's going to stay here once camp breaks and spend some extra time here. He's going to work his way up through the minor leagues. He's going to, if all goes according to plan, he makes his major league debut right around the middle of the season. And, they think he's someone who's going to contribute quite a bit. But they've got to get him from here to there. And so they're not going to skip any steps along the way. And I think today was a good one to get him out there to face live hitters for the first time.
Closing in on opening day, obviously the table's pretty much set. But for someone like Weston Wilson, who's on the shelf with a strained rib cage, in your view, Scott, who takes that final spot? Is it someone like a Buddy Kennedy or a Christian Arroyo?
I think it's a really, really interesting topic here for the final little bit of spring training. And I say that because, there are some circumstances that will play themselves out. Like Cody Clemens doesn't have options. So if he doesn't make the team, he's got to go through waivers. I think he gets claimed. Buddy Kennedy doesn't have options. Does he clear waivers? I'm not sure. Does one of them make the team because of that contract situation? Christian Arroyo is a name to watch. He's looked really good. He's had a good spring. He's a right-handed hitter. I think they really would like that last spot, be a right-handed hitter if possible. Arroyo has big league time with the Red Sox, with, I think, Tampa Bay. More big league time than Buddy Kennedy, as a matter of fact. So I wonder how he plays into it. It's going to kind of come down to, and then there are other factors that play off of that, right? Does Yohan Rojas get back on the field and play defense before camp breaks? They expect him to, but how much time does he have to be ready? Is he ready to go? Can they trust Edmundo Sosa in the outfield if they need it? So they've got some external decisions to make around that final spot that are going to determine whether it's Clemens, whether it's Kennedy, whether it's Arroyo, or whether somebody else, Oscar Mercado, whether somebody else kind of comes up to kind of claim that spot, depending on what they need.
How about the backup catcher situation? How's that looking?
Yeah, I mean, I think in that situation, I know what Rob Thompson said early in camp that, he was going to base the decision on performance. But when you're talking about catching depth and you're talking about keeping depth in your organization, I mean, I don't know how much of a choice it really is, right? Like Marchand can't go to the minors without clearing waivers. He will not clear. I think he would be claimed by any number of teams that are looking for catching help. Stubbs can. So Stubbs is the unique incumbent underdog in this competition, and I think just for the sake of preserving your depth, to me, Marchand's on the team and Stubbs is in AAA. But we'll see how the last week or week and a half play out. I think it's sort of irresponsible to do anything other than that.
All right, Scott, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on the Comcast Business Hotline. Scott Lauber of the Inquirer. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Really appreciate it. If you want more of this content, make sure you like and subscribe. And you can do that kind of over here if you want more of the best show ever.